What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got more news about OP-15. You see, the other day I came to you and I said, hey look, I've got news about OP-15. And when I told you it before, it was very much, and I was very clear about this in the video, it was very much a rumour. A very credible rumour from a source we believe, but still very much a rumour. And the rumour essentially came in two forms, and that was that it was going to feature a leader of Franky or Brook, and that it was going to be featured around Skypiea. That was what we were told, that's what we knew, fine. Well, now it's gone and been listed on distributor websites. Now we know a lot more. We know, now we don't have a title. They've stopped giving titles to distributors, almost certainly because people, and I count myself among them, will cover news like this and tell people. So they've stopped giving out the name. That's a little bit sad. Boo, hiss, etc. But they've given us information about the set, so we're fine. We have a release date of the 3rd of April. So, yeah, we don't have a Japanese release date yet. We know that next year we are heading into a simultaneous release, which is wonderful. We don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but we know we are heading there, so if nothing else, that's going to be cool. But 3rd of April, as I always tell you guys, it's not confirmed, it's not official, we don't know this yet, but the distributors get their release dates from Bandai, and generally Bandai don't share them on the website until closer when they're 100% sure and all of that, but we can take this as almost certain, but not yet confirmed. Cool. So the 3rd of April, that's when we get it. How much was real of what we were told? Basically everything. OP-15's main theme is Sky Island. Many popular leaders and characters from Sky Island are included. You'll also find cards featuring captivating characters from Dressrosa, the East Blue Arc, and more. Cool. Now, remember, when it comes to Skypiea, we've been a little bit neglected. Frankly, we've been a little bit neglected. Like, we have a look at Skypiea leaders, or Sky Island, really. We've got Calgara, which is cool, and seeing a bunch of play, and it's all around. That came around in OP-08. And then we've had Anel, who again is another character that's very cool and seen a bunch of play and all of that, which came around in OP-05. So we had to wait till OP-05 to get our first. We then got 3 main sets later in OP-08. This is OP-15. 7 main sets later. We are frankly overdue for a new Skypiea leader, new Sky Island leader, however you want to phrase it. So I'm delighted that we're getting one here. Who's it going to be? Excellent question. My top draft pick is still Wiper. Just because Wiper's got more love than other Sky Island in the One Piece card game so far. That's honestly my answer. Maybe it's someone like Satori who was running all of those challenges. I don't know. Absolutely could be. That's something that I would believe. But I think Wiper has got to be our top draft pick here. Or maybe it's going to be Mont Blanc Nolan, who was a bit of a leader himself. It's you know, it could be anyone at this stage. It could just be another Anel or another Calgara. They are like the 2 most obvious leaders from the Sky Island arc. That's why we got those 2 first. But there are a bunch of options out there. I would be thinking Wiper myself, or Nolan maybe as the other options. But either way, Skypiea is confirmed. And the thing is, we don't know who the new leader is going to be. We don't know if the new leader is going to be any good. We do know that both Anel and Calgara are good and have been good in the past. So, absolutely there is a possibility here that what we get is a rubbish new leader. Boo! But then we also get, you know, just some support for the existing leaders. That's actually kind of cool, honestly. So I'd be down with that. That would make me happy. What else have we got here? Dressrosa. Okay. That'd be kind of cool. Dressrosa's a weird one because it's never really been as big a thing as Sky Island, but leader-wise, we've had quite a bunch. Like, obviously, we had Rebecca in OP-04, and then we had Kyros in EB-01, who are the ones we really think of as Dressrosa. But then we got the Usopp in OP-10, which was like the new Dressrosa. And has anyone remembered that the Law from OP-10 is Dressrosa? Or the Koala from OP-12 is Dressrosa? Or the Sabo from Starter Deck 13? And incidentally, we've had other Sabo leaders that aren't Dressrosa. It's all getting a little bit weird. But, you know, basically Usopp from OP-10 had a little bit of a run. But honestly, that was mostly in Japan. Was never as good when it came over here. And Rebecca was kind of good initially. That was cool. And that was about it. Dressrosa has not been a big thing in the card game. It's not been as good as, like, Sky Island. So, yeah. I don't know. I'd like to see some of this. That'd be cool. I'd like Kyros and Rebecca and all to suddenly become magically good. I would be delighted about this. But either way, that's apparently who we're getting, so start getting hyped. And then East Blue, there's so many different options for East Blue. East Blue, we could go a million different ways. But I do want to remind you that the new Nami leader, the one that got printed because the other one got banned, that is locked to East Blue cards. So it actually does make sense we would get a bunch of new East Blue cards to essentially support Nami. Because otherwise, they lock her out of anything but East Blue. And as it stands, we don't have enough East Blue cards to support Nami really at all. So maybe there's no new leader there. Maybe there's just a bunch of new support for East Blue, which is going to help stuff like Nami. And I would honestly be okay with that. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe they go the other way and give us like a new Kuro leader. Because we got one of them in OP-03 and we hadn't had one since. And that makes me a little bit sad. I would be delighted if we could get another Kuro leader. I don't think we're gonna, but I'd like it, ladies and gentlemen. I would very much like it. What else are we told? Well, the other thing we're told really concretely is the other thing we were expecting, and that is, finally, this character makes their debut as a leader. A member of the Straw Hat crew becomes a leader for the very first time. In addition, previously introduced characters receive cards in different colours, greatly expanding strategic possibilities. Well, that second sentence could mean like 74 million things. Let's focus in on the first. It's got to be Brook or Franky. Because that's what we haven't had yet. Like Luffy, we've had 74 different Luffy leaders. So we're not going to focus in on that. Okay, including different prints, there's 27 in English. That's quite a lot right now. Okay. But then, you know, we've had two Nami. Well, we've had two Nami, three if you include, you know, the reprint Nami, the one that's coming as a make good for having banned the one from OP-03. And we've only had one Nico Robin, but we did get Nico Robin in OP-9. And we've only had one Jinbei, but we did get a Jinbei back in OP-11. And Zoro had one in OP-01 and OP-12, as well as a dual leader with Sanji in Starter Deck 12. And then Sanji, as well as that dual leader, has had the one from Premium Booster 01, and the one from OP-02, and the one from OP-12. And I mentioned the Usopp from OP-10 earlier. Now, admittedly, Usopp has not had a lot of love as a leader. The one from OP-10 is the only one it's had. But it did get the one from OP-10. And again, we've not had like a million different Chopper leaders. We've only had the one Chopper leader. That is obviously the one from OP-08, if anyone's forgotten. But the point is, we have had a Chopper leader. Even when we look at the Straw Hat that haven't had much love in terms of leaders, they've still had leaders, with the exception of Franky and Brook. Which is why I look at them and I'm like, oh, cool, so it's going to be Franky and Brook then, isn't it? Or one of them. And it does seem to only be one of them from the wording we've got. but it says a member of the Straw Hat crew becomes a leader for the very first time. And as I've just proven to you, every other member of the Straw Hat crew other than Franky and Brook has had a leader. So you know what? It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. And I, for one, am delighted about this. I think it's lovely. And I can't tell you which one it is, but whoever doesn't get the leader this time around, oh, we are going to be begging for them to get a leader card. Now, the other thing we're told is contains the second half of EBO4, receive an extra bonus pack. Remember that OP-15, it's officially confirmed, has half of EBO4 in. Well, that's going to be the same case here. We kind of assumed that was going to be the case, but now we've had it confirmed. Half of EBO4 is in OP-14, the other half is in OP-15. And actually, it's already been confirmed that green, blue, and purple are going to be in OP-14, so red, yellow, and black are going to be in OP-15. That's just the way it is. Now, what's interesting is, if we have a look at the breakdown, it's not what we normally see. It's actually fairly significantly different to what we would generally see here. So, for instance, we've got 3 secret rares, which is weird. We always have 2 secret rares, but now we've got 3. 14 super rares. Well, hang on a second. We usually have 10. 7 leaders. We usually have 6. It's because half of EBO4 is in there. So the rarity breakdown does look a bit messed up, but it's because we've got half of EBO4 in there as well, which, you know, there's your explanation. Oh, and there's an extra bonus pack to encourage multiple purchases. There's box toppers. 6 box toppers. We don't know what they are, but box toppers are coming, and that's lovely. So there we go. That's what we know about OP-15. It's going to be awesome. But now it's over to you guys. Do you want Franky or Brook? That's what I want every single person still watching to tell me in the comment section. Franky or Brook, who you hoping for? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.